Hi, boys and girls. If you remember, this week we are studying nonfiction stories and learning just exactly what a nonfiction story is. So, just a quick refresher from our last video. We read the story Best Foot Forward. And if you remember, we talked about what the words said in that story. We know now that a nonfiction story gives us real information, okay? It does not have a story or a characters or a problem. So that's something that we want to talk a little bit more about, okay? In a fiction story, we will have characters, okay? Think about a story like Pete the Cat. Pete the Cat is our main character. We know exactly who is in the story and usually what problem happens with Pete the Cat. You might know the story Pete the Cat and his red sneakers and how they keep changing color. And the problem in that story would be that his sneakers are always changing color. Okay? Or if you think back to even a story that we just read last week, Santa Duck, that would be a fiction story. We know that Santa Duck was our character. So there was a character in that story, and we know that he had a problem. Everybody thought he was Santa, and he did not remember to ask Santa for the things he wanted for Christmas. And we know that there was a solution to that story. The problem got solved. In a nonfiction story, we don't really have characters. We don't have a problem. We don't have a solution. Okay? We just are learning about different things. Okay? So we are going to continue that today in our new story. What do you do when something wants to eat you? I want you to focus and look out for a few things. Okay? Does this story have a main character? Okay? Does this story have a problem in the story? And does it have a solution to the problem? Okay? So, without further ado here, let's go ahead and read What Do You Do When Something Wants to Eat You? I'll go ahead and put the cover up while I get the book ready. What do you do when something wants to eat you? Most animals face the constant danger of being eaten by other animals. This book shows a few of the ways that they try to avoid this fate. When an octopus is threatened, it squirts a thick cloud of black ink into the water, confusing its attacker. The bombardier beetle defends itself by shooting a mixture of hot chemicals from its rear end into the face of an attacker. It can shoot up to 500 times in 1 second. If a pufferfish is in danger, it takes in water and swells up like a prickly balloon, making itself almost impossible to swallow. So looking at that there, what do you think prickly means? Yeah, kind of like sharp, pointy. So if it's sharp and pointy, nothing's going to want to take a bite out of that. The glass snake is really a lizard without legs. When it is grabbed by the tail, its tail breaks into many small, wiggling pieces. Pretty cool. Okay. The pangolin protects itself By rolling up into an armor-plated ball. The basilisk lizard is known in South America as the Jesus lizard. It can escape its enemies by running across the surface of ponds and streams, using its large feet and great speed to keep it from sinking into the water. So he runs so fast that he can run right across the top of the water. When it feels threatened, the hog-nosed snake rolls onto its back and sticks out its tongue and plays dead. This is a good defense because many predators prefer to kill their own food. The brightly colored clownfish escapes danger by hiding in the poisonous tentacles of the sea anemone. The clownfish is immune to this poison, but any predator that follows it is badly stung or even killed. The hoverfly is a harmless insect without a stinger, but it can protect itself by mimicking the appearance of a wasp. What do you think mimic means? Kind of like copy, like a copycat, if you mimic someone or something. The gliding frog lives in trees in the forests of Asia. It can escape predators by using its large webbed feet to glide as far as 50 feet to reach another tree. When it spreads its wings to fly, the silk moth reveals two large spots that look like eyes on its wings. These can really startle an attacker and give the silk moth time to escape. So what do you think startle means? Kind of like scare or surprise. Very good. The Javanese leaf insect looks just like... What does that look like there? It looks almost exactly like a real leaf. This makes it very difficult for enemies to see. The flying fish escapes danger by... Let's make a prediction. It's called the flying fish, so what do you think it might do? Let's see. The flying fish escapes by leaping right out of the water, spreading its wing-like fins, and gliding as far as 1,000 feet. That's really far. Okay? You would need about 50 of me to get up to 1,000 feet. By sticking out its large, bright blue tongue, whoop, I skipped a page. The blue-tongued skink startles attackers by sticking out its large, bright blue tongue and wiggling it from side to side. Trying to scare people off. Yeah, that's kind of weird looking. I'd be a little scared. What do you think you would do if something wanted to eat you? Go ahead and share. after you're done sharing, just want to go ahead and talk about that book a little bit. Okay? So, we said that we were going to be talking about nonfiction stories, but there was something I noticed in that story. What kind of pictures did we have in that book? Were they real photographs or were they illustrations? Very good. Those were illustrations, but it was still a nonfiction story. Just like I mentioned before, a nonfiction story doesn't always have to have real photographs. It can still have pictures and be a nonfiction story. So we now know that the pictures were illustrations, but what did the words say? Did we have a character in that story? A main character? No, not really. We were reading about something different on every single page. Did we have a problem that got solved in the story? No, not really. Like we said, every page was kind of its own piece of information. So we know once again that the author gave us a lot of facts and information in that story. We did not have any captions or, any of the other things we might see, so we still had to just look at the words and determine, did I learn something in that story? And was it a fact? And the answer was yes, we did learn something that was a fact. It was a piece of information that we learned about a real-life animal. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed that story, and maybe now you can start to prepare just in case, something might want to eat us for some reason. All right? Hope you enjoyed that one. Bye-bye.